Hey, my lovely Willow Vibes Tribe members. I am Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes, and I'm here to do it's like a dream share. I might do a reading in it as well. I'm not 100% sure how this one's going to go down, but I woke up earlier today, well, because it's not that late. It's only 8:53 a.m. on June 29th, 2023. It's Thursday, in case you want to know. But time is fluid, time is man-made, so don't get hung up on dates and times. I just mention them in different readings. I feel like it has to do with a timeline, so that's why I say that whenever I'm prompted to, because I don't do it in every reading. But anyways, the dream that I had was really weird, but it's fun. The reason why I want to share it is I know that a lot of the messages in there in this dream do pertain to me, but I like to share certain dreams because either they're not for me, they're for whoever else. But it's also to understand. Oh my god, I feel like, what the fuck? I just got smacked with some weird energy. Like, I just got really tired, and like that feels stressed because it kind of, my heart's racing, and it didn't even put a pressure. It put like almost like a sinking feeling in my chest stomach area. So I don't know if someone's nervous or stressed or something. Has something to do with communication as well. This dream definitely does, because I understood some of the symbols anyways, but I looked up a few things because I was like, I wonder, I don't know, whatever stands out to me. So whenever you have a dream, just really look into the things that seem most important, because even if you have the craziest dreams, like say it makes no sense, there's purple elephants dancing everywhere, and you're just like, what the hell does that mean? That must be nothing, you know? Well, the color purple could be significant, the elephant itself, whatever it's doing, how you were feeling, like in the dream, if you remember those things, like whatever is most significant in the dream is what's most important for you. That's the message within it. So that's why I like to share some of these weird dreams and stuff. This one, it does make a lot of sense to me. But anyways, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stick around. I hope you do stay. I would love it if you would. I don't remember if I said that. I don't think I did. But anyways, I'm wicked nervous. I don't know why. It's just a damn dream. Maybe someone's going to be saying that like when they hear it. But I know... Someone definitely needs to speak up. I'm just going to say, like, they have a hard time talking because someone's throat chakra is just not that great, or they're trying to shut mine down. One or the other. Because I was totally fine. I didn't have that frog in my throat or anything before I started. Yeah, there's like, I don't know. There's a lot of nervous energy here all of a sudden. But regardless, the signs are with you already. Within your dreams, your day-to-day life, you know, whatever's going on for you. The number 4 can be significant as well. But in this dream, I know almost everyone in the dream. Like, I know who they are in real life. I'm going to change the names because it's not important for everyone, you know what I mean? But I just heard in my head, no, don't change the names. So maybe I'll use initials, I don't know. But regardless, I have like a whole commentary going on in my mind right this second, which is weird. I mean, it's not fully weird, but... So anyways, how did it start? It started... I just heard in my head, it all started with a kiss. That was in the dream, but I was, okay, in the dream, I was in California visiting someone, and they were in an apartment building, and I've had a dream about this person before in an apartment building, but the apartment building prior in another dream was just a single floor apartment. This was like an entire apartment complex, like could have had multiple apartments in it. And I don't know if it was, I don't know, because the way that it was set up, it was either multiple apartments or like a motel or hotel type setup where there's different doorways and they're all different rooms for different people, whatever. And that can represent different situations in a dream because each room is separated, you know, it's like it's its own thing kind of thing. So that could be what that represents, but there was multiple rooms and they were different apartments is what it felt like, but it was this one person's, the whole place was theirs, basically. So it could be like different memories for them or whatever. It doesn't matter if it was about them or not. That person will call A. I don't know. That person will call A. And then, so anyways, I'm there visiting, and he was going to show me around the area because his apartment was in California. And I've had a dream before where it was a similar thing. He was going to show, in a previous dream, he was going to show me, his brother, and his mother was there at the table, but she never showed up in the car. So he was going to show us around. And it ended up, a bridge was flooded and all kinds of crap, but whatever. So he was going to show me around again because I was just visiting. And then he ended up, in the dream, he ended up kissing me out in the open, like where anyone could see. There was no one around, but it's like where it wasn't like hush hush, I guess you could say, because that's what it felt like in the dream. But there was no one around, but I knew it was exposed, or I knew it was in the open or something along those lines. And he had a girlfriend and kids and stuff, which I never saw. They were never in the dream. But I knew that he had them because he had told me about them. And then I ended up in his, I think it was, how did it go? There was that. I knew about them. And he told me that there's a flood. That a flood was coming. And I was like, the ocean's gonna flood? Like, how bad is this flood? And he's like, it's gonna wipe everything out. Like, this is a big flood. It's like a tsunami basically was coming because it was coming from the ocean. And I'm like, of all the times I decide to go somewhere, that's where a flood's fucking coming? Like, what the hell? And he's like, but don't worry, it'll be okay. Like, yeah, it'll be devastating, but it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, way to think about things. So, mass devastation, but it'll be okay. So, like a problem, you know, a problem's headed someone's way, and it's like it will wreak havoc on whatever, maybe the people surrounding you or a situation, but you'll be fine. Like, you'll recover from this, or you won't be affected or impacted like other people would be. Something like that. So he's warning me about the flood, and I hadn't seen. I was like, well, it hasn't started yet, you know. So he goes, grab what you need. I have a safe room. And I'm like, okay, because I was just thinking the floor was going to get wet. Like, it was going to be minor, you know what I mean? I wasn't thinking it was anything bad in the dream. So I grabbed one of my suitcases, and which is weird because in real life I really did have one suitcase, one bag full of clothes. That's where I took everywhere with me a while ago. But I grabbed one bag of clothes, and I was following him to the safe room, and he grabbed it from me to put it in there, but I didn't go into the room. I remember seeing the door was cracked open, and there was a whole wall of TVs, but they were updated. Because I had another dream about old tech, and old TVs were like, it was like a security system, an outdated security system. Well, that guy had like updated technology, and he could see everything. So he could see everything. That was what that was representing. But I could see that he could see everything, but I couldn't see everything in the room because the door was only open to crack. And the second I peeked in, even though he invited me in there, he shut the door. It's almost like inviting someone in saying it's okay to know this, see this, understand this, whatever, whether it's spiritually or not. And usually for me, it's I have to get you. I don't have to have your permission to get spiritual messages about you, but I won't go looking. And if you give me that permission, you're giving it to spirit as well. Because the people in my life, I don't look into their lives. Like any information that I know about them, it's just because spirit tells me, probably because I need to know or they need to know or whatever. But it's not me being intrusive because it's not my business. You know what I mean? I'm not a gossiper, and I'm not like nosy in that way. If you want to tell me, you'll tell me kind of thing, unless I need to know, and then spirit will tell me. But anyways, so that's kind of what that represented. But it was updated, so it wasn't like, I don't know, it was easy access, but it wasn't me. Like I peeked in and saw that he could see everything. So he could see everything. Like he was watching someone or watching everything is what I want to say. He was watching everything. And whatever that means. And then I went back up to it wasn't his bedroom or anything. I went back into like a room. I don't know, it almost looked like a living room type area. And I started looking around, and he had taken all of his stuff, like all of it, and packed it all away. I was like, wow, this must be a really big storm or really big flood or whatever. I've had multiple dreams of floods. I'm gonna have to go over that myself. But anyways, um, I was like, this must be a really bad flood if he's taking everything. Like he took everything. So I was like, shit, I better grab a couple more. Like, cause I only had 3 bags with me. So I was like, I better grab all my stuff and put it in that room just to be safe because obviously, he's over prepared and I'm under prepared. So I better get fucking prepared. That's what I was thinking in the dream. Like, damn it, I'm going to follow suit. I'm going to get to, grab all my shit and go. Well, excuse me. So I start like packing up the bags and stuff, and he comes in. Yeah, because there was a couple different, yeah, because I started like figuring it out and packing up things, and then he came in. Wow, I almost went, like my vision went weird. And he came into the room and walked me back into his bedroom, which I had been in there before, and he just had a twin size bed and stuff, like, and I don't know, it looked like a teenage boy's room, to be honest. It didn't look like a man's room. It wasn't like well kept, I guess. And I knew he had like a girlfriend and kids and stuff, or a wife and kids or whatever. And I was like, you only have a twin size bed? Like, this is weird. That's not big enough for all of you, is what I was thinking, but your kids don't normally sleep in the same bed. But anyways, that's what I thought in the dream. And he's like, oh, well, they're gone now. And I'm like, they're gone now? Why? What happened? And I was like, was it because of the kiss? And he's like, partially. I was like, well, you shouldn't have done it out in the open then. Why'd you do that? He's like, I don't know. And then, like, he didn't really answer. And then in the dream, I knew we had sex, but it didn't show it. Like, it didn't show that we did. So, like, for that to be in a dream where there was an intimate encounter and it kind of fast forwards through it, it means it wasn't significant to you or to someone else or both of you, like it was meaningless, or it could have been a fantasy. There was some type of distance or separation there where, it could have been an online thing where it either didn't literally happen in real life, or it's just someone wanted it to and they thought about it, or it just meant nothing. Whatever that is, but it was really quick. Like I just knew about it, but that was it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And I was the one in there doing it. So it was like, but anyways, see, dreams can be weird sometimes. But after that, I don't think I saw him again. Like, after that part of the dream, I walked out of the room, and it was almost like he got the attention that he wanted, and or he achieved whatever goal he had, and then he just went away. And so that could be what that represents, regardless of like the intention behind it. It was like known that it happened, I guess, and then it just disappeared because I didn't see him again in the dream. And when I walked out of the room, I went back into the other bedroom or living room area, whatever, and to grab the rest of my bags. And there was that guy's uncle was in there. I don't know if it is in real life, but it was. He told me he was his uncle, and he had this little jar, and it had his nephew, and he had his nephew in a jar. So I don't know if that's representing, someone who passed away or what, because you could put ashes in a jar, but he wasn't ashes. He looked like a little toy, a little figurine. And he took him out, and he looked bigger in the jar, but when he took him out, it was just this little teeny tiny thing. So it's almost like someone seeming larger than life, someone seeming better than they are, but when the reality of the situation kicks in, you just realize they're just a little pissant. That's kind of what it was making me think of. But I don't know what the significance of that was, because the uncle set that little dude, little figurine, the toy, could represent a child's toy as well, on A's bed, on like the bed frame part or something. He just set it there. And I was like, okay, like nothing else happened with that. He didn't really say anything to me either. And I was just like, well, that's weird, because I didn't go back into the bedroom, but I knew that's where he left it. Because I was like, all right, I got to go find someone. There was a girl that I needed to find. And because I knew the storm was coming, like the flood. And I was like, I got to go find her. And I don't know her in real life. But anyways, I was on a mission because I wanted her to be safe. And I remember that. So I look out the windows, and from one side of the house, you couldn't see, like, it looked fine. I was like, well, nothing's going on now. I have plenty of time to go find this girl. And then I look out a different window, and I was like, oh, I take it back. I did see him one more time, because in the dream, so you could have like disconnected from someone after something happened, and then there was a span of time where you didn't talk, and then you talked to him again, and then you didn't again, because after that I didn't see him at all again after that. So I look out the window, and I saw this, like, where big boulders were lined up like rocks. And a lot of times beaches and stuff, they'll line the edge of the beach with rocks, but the water was right up to the rocks. And I was like, I think we still got time, like, that doesn't look too bad. And A goes, the water's usually really far back, like that's getting really close, so we don't have much time. And I was like, well, what time do you think the flood's gonna start? And he goes, well, it can start any time, it's already started if you think about it, but like it's already headed this way. Just, I was like, okay, well, if it's already started, when's it gonna get bad? And he goes, well, I don't know, about 2 hours or so. I'm like, all right, I got time to go look for this girl. So I pieced out of the apartment building and started walking around the city type area. I don't know, it just looked like buildings and a city. You could walk from building to building, basically. I don't know where the hell I was, never seen these places ever. But I saw her outside of this one place. And I was like, oh, hey. And I went, and she kind of looked at me, but not fully. Like, oh, I don't think I know you, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, shit. So I followed her into this place, and it was a spa. Like a massage parlor spa. Because it wasn't any funny business going on in there. It was, people were laying on beds, they had cucumbers on their eyes. They were relaxing. So if you think about it, I followed her into a place that was meant to be a relaxing setting, having a good time, enjoying the moment, just kind of letting loose and letting go. Because it's kind of what you do at a spa. You just let go of everything and just enjoy the moment. So that's what that could represent. And I saw her in there, which it reminds me of when I would go out, you know, just recently even. Whenever I go out, that's what I'm doing. I'm pulling away from whatever's going on around me and just enjoying the moment. I'm not out to F around or whatever, it's just having a good time. Excuse me. So that's kind of what that represented. I saw her there and I was like, you gotta come with me. There's it's gonna flood. Everything's gonna flood. It's gonna be all taken out. You need to get out. You need to come with me. And she goes, oh, okay. And she had a dog with her all of a sudden. I'm gonna sneeze. Like there was just one dog, and we walked outside of that place, and she told me she needed to get her things, and she would meet me back at that apartment, at A's apartment. And I was like, are you sure you don't want me to come with you? And she's like, no, I'm just, you know, I gotta grab a couple things and I won't be long. Well, she never showed up. She took her dog and I don't know where the hell she went. I didn't see her after that. But when I went back to the apartment in that living room area, there was a man. It was A, but we weren't interacting. Like I knew it was him, but he wasn't talking to me, or I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, so he was there and some woman was giving him a massage, like a legitimate one, you know, what a masseuse would do. It's not a rub and tug, you know what I mean? Wasn't that, but anyways. And then there was a male masseuse that was going to give me a massage, and I went into it thinking like, oh, this is legitimate. Okay, this is going to be nice. So, he started getting handsy, and I was like, this is not that kind of massage. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Because once he started doing that, I was like, no. So what that made me feel in the dream was that there was a man in a situation who got what he wanted, but it wasn't what the woman wanted. So it was like someone got exactly what they expected and what they wanted, but the other person didn't. It's like, I wasn't expecting this. This is not what I wanted. What the shit is wrong with you? So that's what that made me think of. And I got up and I was like, I don't fucking trust you. Like, get out of here, basically. And then all of a sudden, the massage shit just went away. And as I'm walking out of the room, because I was like, screw this shit, I got an alert on YouTube. And I was like, oh, what's this? And it said that somebody sent me a donation. And so I clicked on it. And I was like, the name was Stom, S-T-O-M. And I was like, who the fuck is that? So I looked at the pictures, and it was someone I know. And I was like, that's R. I'm like, okay. So there was a couple pictures I saw, and then there was a couple videos. So there's videos and pictures apparently, but I'm like, but that's not his name. Maybe that's just like, you know how you make usernames and stuff, because Willow isn't my real name. It's my channel's name, you know? So I was just like chalking it up to that. But he sent me a donation of $33, which is all about positive changes and stuff like that. There's more to it than that, but I was like, 33 is it's very significant. It's very spiritual. And I wanted to thank him for the donation. And I'll tell you in a second, because I got caught on Stom, the word Stom. It's not, I guess it is a word now. I know that. I didn't know that before. But anyways, at first I'm like, it's like storm without an R. There's a storm without R. And I just said that his initials, well, one of them is R. There's a storm without R. I don't know what the fuck that means. But anyways, that's what I thought of that. And then I thought of, if you S-T-O-M backwards, if you read it backwards, is Mott's. Like, Mott's makes apple juice, applesauce. I keep talking about apples, applesauce, shit like that. So there could be a significance there as well. But when I Googled it just to see if it was actually a word, technically it means mute in Dutch, dumb, without the power of speech, unable to speak or dumb. So someone's unable to speak. Like I can't say something. Either this person either R can't say something or they're afraid to say something, whatever it is. But I was like, holy shit, it's actually a word. And I keep talking about how someone's having a hard time saying something, like talking about a situation, whatever it is. So I was like, wow, that really had a fucking meaning. And then all of a sudden, because I never answered, I don't think I ever thanked him online, because I went to go thank him and then he showed up. And then he was there. And he was there with his mother. And they were standing beside each other. And she just kind of looked at me. And he started walking past me. And so when I turned away from his mom, I was looking at him and I was like, well, thank you so much for the donation. That was really nice of you. And he's like, no problem. And then his mom gave me the weirdest look. Like she was just kind of frozen staring at me in the dream. And I was just like what the hell is this about? But when I was talking to him, I said, I can't remember how I started the conversation, but like exactly what was said, but I knew that he was kind of standoffish and distant in the dream. And I was like, what's going on with you? Like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you dealing with something like depression, anxiety, something like that? I was talking to him like that. And he's like, not so much depression, but there's like, anxiety and stress, everyday life, stuff like that. But he was being very vague. And I was like, so it's not exactly depression. I was like, I literally got close to him and whispered in his ear in the dream. And I said, is it PTSD? And he goes, yes. That's what he said to me. And I said, it's okay. I'm not going to tell anyone. I was like, but if you need anyone to talk to, you can talk to me. You don't have to give me details. You don't have to share stories or whatever. But if you need someone to vent to, just so you know, I'm here. I'm here for you. And then I woke up. Well, actually, that was when his mom stared at me. Because when I turned to leave, after I said that to him, when I turned to leave, she was giving me this like look of, and then I woke up. I was like, wow, that's just a fucked up dream, just saying. But anyways, has a lot of meanings for me, but those little nuggets of information, like the 33 storm, like most people would go, that's nothing, But it seems significant to me, so I looked it up. And lack of communication is hard to talk. I'm not saying that person's dumb in real life, but it's like not being able to communicate your emotions or to communicate at all. But it's just kind of ironic. So anyways, whatever it means to you, because some of you could get some little hidden gems in there for yourself, just saying. It's only 28 minutes in, so let's see what these little signs and stuff, what they are for some of you. What comes around goes around. Something circling back around, and you probably see it coming, you feel it coming. Invasion, boundaries violated and dominant, healing from heartache. Yeah, somebody crossed the line with you is what it feels like. They could have invaded your privacy. But regardless of just invading your privacy, I kind of feel that in here. But this feels like taking advantage of someone in a vulnerable state, whether it was a level of confusion or whatever was going on in your life. There's someone who is taking advantage of your kindness, of the situation, period. They could have even taken advantage of you physically in some sense. But this feels like more than one fucking person is what it feels like. It could actually be 3. There could be 3 people involved. There could be more than 3 involved, but I feel like there's at least 2 who crossed the line with you in a weird, fucked up kind of way is what that feels like. Now, what do I want to do? I want one of these. So let's see. Yeah, the road less traveled. I feel like a lot of you are just getting in touch with yourselves and following signs and synchronicities, listening to your spirit team, your guides, like yourself, your intuition, and going with the flow of life. And someone or someone's took advantage of that because they didn't feel as free as you. Whoever this person is, they might end up at Facebook jail a lot. Not necessarily. But I feel like there's a level of isolation here. Like maybe, I don't know, because I feel lonely. So someone could have taken advantage of you because you were in a lonely state, or they were lonely and they just saw an opportunity online. Like, oh, I'm in this lonely place. I'm stuck in this situation. Yeah, I'm stuck in this situation that I'm not happy in. Oh, you're online. I'm going to talk to you as friends. Yeah, what did I say? Open and vulnerable. You were being open with people, with friends, making new friends, getting to know people, whatever. And yeah, you were just connecting. I feel like you were connecting with people online. You could have been connecting with people just in person or whatever. Like you were just trying to connect, like in a friend capacity, just getting to know new people, like being fun and free. You're fun and free and this person is not, or these people are not. But I feel like I don't want you to be free. We're gonna lock you up in Facebook jail. Social media could have got someone in trouble, but I feel like, especially if they were cheating or anything like that, yeah, someone could have done or said certain things on social media or online when they were drinking, so they could have been way more open because of a level of intoxication, when they probably wouldn't have acted or said whatever this was. They wouldn't have done that before, because there's someone in here where you weren't in physical contact with them, like they weren't in your physical vicinity. So I don't know if there's distance or not. If there's not distance, you just never met up with them. But there's something significant between going out and social media, sharing your experiences. Sharing your experiences. It's also something to do with the 1980s and 90s, early 90s. So I don't know if that's when you were born, like if you grew up in the 80s, born in the 80s, born in the 90s, grew up in the 90s, whatever. Or if those are just significant times in your life. Something to do with the 80s. And it feels like music, like 80s music, which is funny. My hair's all kinky today. I kind of do look 80s. My daughter told me the last time I had curled my hair and did my makeup, she goes, "You're like my 80s mom." I was like, oh, I should put on those jelly bands and fucking do it up. But something to do with the 80s. And it could just be like really liking like 80s rock, 80s music, dressing like that, something like that. For some of you. For the Four of Cups, it's a level of rejection. Drinking your sorrows away. Okay, because there's someone from the past. You could have been open with somebody and they were trying to get over a past situation because they were feeling left out of someone else's life because they were rejected. And that could be why they rejected you. But I also feel like I don't know if it happened through social media or not, but this is the private thing, that's for sure. So it's like a private conversation, text messages, calls, something like that. Someone was very open with you about their past relationship or relationships or their current one. Like, I don't know, there's something, because this doesn't feel spiritual. This feels like I got a little loose-lipped when I was drinking kind of thing. Not me, but somebody else. Like, like, I felt very comfortable talking to you, so I opened up about blah, 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 whatever they opened up about. And so you know something about this person, but I feel like you know stuff about a lot of people because a lot of people are very comfortable talking to you. But there's at least one person who is really worried that you're going to share what you know. And it's not like, oh, it's not just spiritual, it's you literally know because they told you. So someone might be a little worried about that. So let's see what's going on here. Do I want to use this one? Yeah. Oh my god, the same thing happened. We have the 8 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is stress, anxiety, worry. Someone is definitely worried that you know that you're going to say something, that you know something, that you figured something out. They're feeling stuck. There's betrayal here. They're worried that you know that you fucking hurt them, that you did something to hurt them, or vice versa. Or that's what you're worried about. Like, someone's also worried about an eye for an eye or karma. Because what comes around goes around. So a lot of you could have seen signs and synchronicities that were warning you about this painful ending or about this level of betrayal. And because of that, you could have combated it or tried to at the very least. And this person's worried that some karma's headed their way, or these people are. Yeah, being left out. That's why somebody blocked you. Somebody blocked you or stopped talking to you or both. Because they're worried about their bullshit getting revealed. I feel like for trying to stop your forward movement in something that was meant for you, whether it's your career path, your life path, a love relationship, whatever this is to you, it's getting returned to sender because I don't know, it's like being met with a blockage, a wall, feeling left out. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, no news. Nothing's coming in. I mean, it is good. I don't know. It almost feels like, what is this? It feels like return to sender. What comes around goes around because it's reversed. So if information was going out before, it's coming in now. Especially if you were left out. If you were left out, information's coming into you and you're going to get the clarity that you need from people. It's not just from spirit. But this also feels like if anyone blocked you or ghosted you, left you out, it's because they don't want you to know something. I don't know. They're withholding. They're holding back. They're trying to restrain themselves. Walking away. And while they're being blocked off, walled off, not talking, whatever, I feel like you are just hauling ass out of a situation. So if anyone, crossed the line with you, if they tried to keep a level, have control over you or the situation, control communication, forward movement, all of that, you're like, take your cups and shove them up your ass. They're empty anyways. I'm going over here. Like, you're not dealing with anyone's bullshit. It's just so funny because you know what it makes me feel like? It makes me feel like somebody blocked you or ghosted you to try to make you feel shitty, like to feel left out. And they don't even realize that you walked away. It's like, oh, I didn't even know you blocked me. What? I didn't even know. Well, you knew they stopped talking, but I don't know. Like, someone might think you're waiting for them. Like, you're waiting for communication, and it doesn't look like you are. Feels like you ended that. Like, you're just trucking along, doing your own thing. Like, yeah, I wasn't sitting here waiting for that. I don't give a shit. I almost feel like you have nothing of importance to fucking say anyways. It's kind of what it feels like. I don't know. I'm also hearing something about a very boring conversation. So there could be someone that bores you to tears. You know what I mean? Like you're just not interested in what they say, or I don't know, because you know what's making me think of is those stupid conversations where it's like, how's your day? And they're like, good. You don't really give any details, or you say good, busy. I don't know, when people aren't invested in a conversation, that's kind of what this feels like. It's boring. So it's like, it's not even entertaining anyways, so goodbye. Like, I don't know, it's kind of, yeah, so goodbye. A Scorpio could have fucking taken off. Or a Scorpio was blocked, one or the other, because we also have Taurus energy here. And this is like a painful ending to a relationship. Someone was suffering from heartbreak and pain of the past. And, you know, they could have just, I don't know, someone didn't handle a situation properly. But I just heard, do you really think that I'm going to allow you to stick one more fucking sword in my back? It's like, you've already stabbed me with 10. Why the fuck would I give you another chance? Like, so some of you, there could be an ex that wants to return. Or just someone who did not make the best choices, just saying. Somebody wants to change something around now. Yeah. Okay, for some of you, someone left you out, blocked communication. Now the communications come, now that you've walked away from them, they're coming back in to talk to you, to talk to the one who got left out. Potentially a Scorpio or an Earth sign, because they want to change things around. It's like, oh, that's the past. That's done and over with. But just let that go. I almost feel like you're going to do what they did to you, you're going to do to them, but not in a vindictive way. Just might kind of unfold that way. Yeah, somebody doesn't want you to walk away. And I feel like they violated your fucking boundaries because of it. Because these two are walking away as well, and this one thinks that they're, you know, all high and mighty. Like, haha, I win, I'm better than you, you know, whatever. But it's like, you can take all your words and memories and all that bullshit, and you're not stabbing me with them fucking things, you know? Peace. Like, this ain't worth it. This communication sucks. This situation's crap. It's kind of what that feels like. What's this betrayal about, real quick? Sorry, I'm so stuffed up. I took an allergy pill, but it's still fucking with me. Jack the Ripper. Notorious, shady, vile. Yeah, someone's a shady mofo, and you've been warned about it. Spirit has warned you about this. Could have something to do with someone who passed away as well. Like the dead is in here, because rest in peace. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know. I want to talk to you about someone who passed away. That could be in here as well, for some, if it applies. Cannibal clown, hunger, yearning, appetite. Yeah, this person wants what they can't have. It's like, oh, I didn't think you were worth anything before, because they were willing to block you and ghost you and leave you out, and now they want to come back and resurrect a dead situation. Someone wants to come back and resurrect a dead situation. I swear to God, there was a clown I drew. Yeah, it kind of looks like a clown. Quickly explain a terrible post. So somebody wants to quickly explain something, like, this is why I did this, said this, blah, 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 whatever. So don't be surprised if somebody comes in and explains a past situation or why they handled something some way. There's a significance with a candle as well. I don't know what that's about. And a nose. I don't know, something to do with someone's nose, or someone knows what's going on. But where was it? That's not it. I don't know. target got hit. That's what I saw. Gonna be starting something. Spirit's starting something. I'm just saying, there's payback here. This situation is not the same as what my dream was. Just FYI, this is something else. I feel like there's different situations and messages in here for different people, anyways. But yeah, there's the target got hit, and it's not the vulnerable person. It's whoever the problems were. It's like you knew exactly what was going on. Yeah, you knew exactly what was going on. The occult belief system theory, intangible. Somebody didn't believe in what you were saying. They could have been trying to control certain messages, like from the dead. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what else is making me think of is when someone, like, for example, say you're intuitive, whether you're a reader or not, you're talking to a close friend or someone, and you're going, well, I'm gifted. I can predict things and blah, blah, blah. Even if you don't do it for the public. Some of you might. But you're just talking one-on-one with someone. And they might be listening, like, quote unquote, feeding into it, I guess you could say, or trying to understand it. But because you know them, because they're a friend of yours, or because you've had prior conversations, whoever this person is or these people are, they were assuming that you were just sharing their fucking secrets, because you had conversations with them before. And that's not what was happening. You were literally picking up on messages, and just some of the things that were coming out could have been something that they did share with you, or they weren't sure if they shared it because you've spoken. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes if you know someone, be like, oh, I could have told you that, or you could have heard that down the line. You know what I mean? But I don't feel like that's what happened. I feel like you were literally getting messages, and from the dead potentially, for some of you, just spirit in general, and you were not believed by certain people just because of the prior connection you had with them, and they could have fucked with you because of that. I don't know, someone thought you were a liar, and I feel like they found out right quick that you're not, that you were telling the truth because of this blocked energy. So, excuse me, if you decided to not talk to them anymore, or they decided not to talk to you, whichever way it goes, because you, like, there could be some people that you were like, nope, not talking to, blocking, pushing away, and then there could be some that did that to you. And through not speaking, not knowing anything about their lives, through staying in solitary confinement, some of you could have even gotten rid of your fucking social media. I just feel like it's like eradicating any possible way to know what someone's doing. Or if you didn't get rid of your social media, maybe there's someone in this energy who posts about their life all the time and then they stop. So how the hell are you going to get information if you're not talking to them, if you can't access their information and they're not saying it anymore? You know what I mean? But you still know. That's spirit. So someone just didn't believe in you, and they crossed the line because of it. But I also feel like these people who didn't believe you, they felt like you were invading their space, that you were crossing the line. Like, how dare you bring up my dead relative, my deceased family member or whatever? How dare you say that? When you didn't mean it in a bad way. But if people are hurt, they don't always see things from another person's perspective. They don't see the big picture, and someone didn't see the big picture. More than one person didn't see the big picture, and they probably thought you were being cruel and fucking with them. So I feel like there was a sense of retaliation here, and they were messing with you. So whatever they were doing or saying to hurt you, to stab you in the back, to try to make you stop doing whatever you're doing, was all because they lacked understanding. Can't understand normal thinking. We got some of them in the building, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of what this feels like. Yeah, well, that's the truth of the matter. Within a home situation, a family situation. I just heard I didn't know you had it in you. So I don't know what that's about. Something to do with the past. I didn't know you had it in you. Yeah, because there's someone who's very guarded who wants to come in fast and say something. Look for the signs. Pay attention to the signs. There's something to do with signs in the past. And reading. Reading. I don't know. Signs and readings. Signs in the past and readings. I feel like someone's mocking somebody. Mocking someone's readings or copying a reader. That could be in here as well. Because that's what's making me think of, like, signs in a reading. It's not just reading signs like, oh, there's a word there, whatever. I feel like that happens. I mean, that happens to me, and that's how we do get signs. So what is that? I don't know. It's like a piece of plastic. Yeah, a piece of plastic just fucking fell. I don't know where it came from. Anyways. Regardless of that, maybe plastic is the fucking sign. Because there's like a plastic baggie. That was part of a plastic baggie. Like when you tear it. I have no fucking clue where that came from. Maybe it came from my hair. I don't know. How the hell would it get my hair? I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Well, that's how signs show up. So whatever that means to you. But regardless of how you get them or whatever, there was someone here who was listening to something you were saying and potentially pulling those words, those signs out of your readings, especially if you are a reader, because this message is for someone who reads, apparently. And if they don't read, they know who you watch as a reader. So it's like, I'm a reader right now, so I'm going, oh, there's a significance with a crystal. And all of a sudden, there's going to be a fucking crystal somewhere. You're going to come across it because someone's going to put it in your path. That's what I mean. Like, oh, I don't know, a star is significant, and then all of a sudden there's something in the shape of a star, or, you know what I mean? And it's not something that you just come across. I mean, you come across it, but it was put there because it was obviously put there. Does that make sense? Like the Morse code in my window. That's an even easier example because Spirit can't, if I could take a quarter and carve that in there. Or maybe they did use a quarter. I don't know. They used something just to like scratch it in there. Still there. So anyways, if there's any love in this situation, what does this person want to say to you right quick? And then I'm going to go. But yeah, someone's using shit against you. And I think things are going to be turned around on them. I am so much better than your ex. Why can't you see that? Maybe you want to say that to someone. I don't know. Huh. I don't know what that means for you. It might have nothing to do with the reader situation that I just picked up on. It could just be something else because I was talking about love. Alright, let's see. What do these say? Rehab. I now know that we belong together and I hope you feel the same way. Yeah, someone wasn't seeing things clearly and I don't know, there's a level of clarity in here now. How can you be so understanding after all that I've done? Yeah, somebody crossed the fucking line with you and you might be willing to forgive them. They could be afraid that you're not going to forgive them, but if you have forgiven them or you're considering it or you would, they're going to be like, I wouldn't forgive anyone for that. Like, holy crap. Like, I don't know. There's a difference between you and this person, definitely. I hate to admit this, but I'm jealous that you're doing better than me. I've gotten these cards before in a love situation. I think it was the last love reading that I did, where there was two options. It was like someone from the past, and I don't know, like there's just two people, and someone's going to swoop in really quickly and catch someone off guard. It's kind of what it feels like. You're going to swoop in and catch someone off guard. Maybe you already did that. You could have caught someone off guard when they were still hung up on an ex. For some of you. But I don't know who you is. But you now know. You now know. Okay? You now know. I just got kind of upset. Like, I literally just felt this wave of anger where I just wanted to take this and throw it. I don't know, someone might get pissy about something. If there's options, they might get mad that somebody else is coming in, or that somebody else did come in and fuck things up, or try to. Another person can only mess things up if you allow it. Especially when you get the truth. It's just like, trust yourself and you'll trust whatever you're hearing from another person. Because I feel like a lot of you already know who you can trust and who you can't. You know, you can tell when someone's bullshitting you, you know? And there is a bullshitter around, big time. But that's what I have for you. Someone really needs to speak up. Don't storm. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.